In the summertime, it's important to stay hydrated. It's important to stay cool. And it's also important...
And that's why we're selling shutter shades.
No, we're not selling...
Brightly colored shutter shades, so everybody looks... Stay cool.
Your dog and cat.
Shutter shades for dogs and cats.
Your pets need to stay cool.
With
and
shutter shades.
Hydrated. Give your dog or cat more water in the summer than they usually have. It's important. Keep them in cool places. Don't leave them outside in the hot summer months. Think about it and be more careful.
Also, think about shutter shades. I got a really good deal on shutter shades. A tuba? You get a tuba player at a party? Oh, this is classy. I'm sorry, what? I said this is classy! This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Speaking of classy.
Yeah.
We might have to reclassify physics.
Oh, fuck off.
See what I did there?
Jesus, why you made me drop an F-bomb within the first 13 seconds. I'm trying my hardest not to curse anymore, but you got to uphold your end of the bargain and just not be a cornball.
Well, I can't do that.
You can't. There was no bargain. I lied. He would never make that bargain.
This is a fascinating story. This was sent to us by Laura Ryan. She sent this into wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
Oh, I think that might be the first time we've heard Laura Ryan's name. Thank you, Laura Ryan. Welcome.
Yes, love to have new contributors. This is an article that was all over the place. Big science news. Basically,
Mac and Cheetos.
Burger
King mac and
Big
Cheetos.
Big science news.
The science behind Burger King mac and Cheetos.
We fucked our palates again.
I would not be surprised if that was the big science news this week. What with the quality of science blogs?
Yeah.
I got things to say as an old man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So no, this is actually
but it is the
legit groundbreaking. So we found another example. We thought we'd seen one before, but now there is confirmation of an example of a nucleus inside an isotope that is pear-shaped and non-symmetrical. So this is huge news because there is a fundamental principle of particle physics called CP symmetry. CP stands for charge symmetry and parity symmetry. There's two types of symmetry, but they go together always. According to our laws of physics, never is this violated. So it basically means something is physically symmetrical, meaning it looks the same on either side, no matter what. But also, its charge is symmetrical. So if you have a positively charged ion and a negatively charged ion, they behave the same.
Okay.
So a pear-shaped nucleus is not symmetrical. It's pear-shaped.
I'm not going to shame a pear-shaped nucleus for that, Jeff.
That's a good.
There's room for all kinds of nuclei, okay?
I mean, I think they're beautiful, too.
I don't care what the science media tells you, okay?
Right.
You don't have to be a perfectly symmetrical nucleus.
That's true.
All right? You just buy genes that are flattering for your body type. That's the thing.
It's more about the shopping.
It is. And that's
and
the
you just
thing.
have to be aware.
Yeah.
That's who you are. Own it.
Look. Sure, you're not going to see a lot of pear-shaped plastic molecule models.
No,
you're not going to see
all the molecule magazines. They won't show up.
They don't show up, and they don't put them in the windows of the science stores.
But that doesn't mean they're not beautiful. The science stores.
Yeah, the science stores.
I want to go window shopping.
Where you buy all your science
in the science district.
Yeah.
I love their Christmas displays, by the way.
Absolutely beautiful.
They really go all out.
They go up earlier and earlier every year.
That's true.
And I don't know how I feel about that. I can't get behind it.
So this is huge news because basically we got the isotope known as radium-224 and now barium-144 both are confirmed by CERN as having pear-shaped asymmetrical nucleus.
So on the surface of this, you kind of hear it and you go, so what, right? You kind of go, all right, well, whatever. Things are different shape. That's cool. You know, sometimes we thought there were 13 kinds of trees and now there are 14 kinds of trees. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But because of this CP symmetry thing that you're talking about, well, that's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there, and we've built everything on the fact that all of these nuclei are supposed to be the same.
Right.
They have to be the same for our model of the physical universe to work.
Yeah, for everything we've built particle physics on the back of is this is never violated.
Mhm.
This symmetry is always intact. And yet it isn't. So there are some theories that say...
So this is probably why you've seen like a lot of particle physicists just throwing themselves out of windows this week.
It's been crazy.
It's been really bad. It's gotten really bleak. It's gotten really dark.
Just running down the street screaming.
They go into this sort of existential crisis. What have I even been working for? What have I been doing?
I saw one in a grocery store just attacking all of the pears.
Yeah.
In the...
You ruined my life!
How dare you!
I didn't ruin my marriage. You did! You did!
Sir, please.
All of my fucking hours
Please, sir.
at the particle accelerator were for nothing.
You're going to have to pay for those
Judy's
pears.
gone.
Oh.
She's gone.
Sir,
and pears are just, they're apples that taste like they have crumbs in them anyway.
that's true. That's
It's
actually
just
how we market
gross.
them. Sir, please, could you just... 1 second. Just calm it down. Have a banana.
No!
This...
When you tell a particle physicist that the bananas that we eat now are completely different fruits than the bananas that we ate 50 years ago, then
do
they
not like to
really
hear it.
freak the fuck out.
Yeah, they are not happy.
Because I guess they don't go on Facebook or the internet because everybody knows that shit.
So the idea that this may indicate... So basically there's been this big mystery of how come we don't see antimatter, right? If there's symmetry in the universe, as we've thought there was, all of the matter that we're seeing, there should also be an equal amount of antimatter. But there is no naturally occurring antimatter that we've been able to detect. So all the over many decades...
Well, because that's all in Earth 2, Jeff. That's like where the Reverse Flash lives and where the Justice League is the crime syndicate.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like... It's like you're not paying attention.
I know. It does seem that way.
You know what I mean?
It does seem like I'm not paying attention.
That's like where Kirk and Spock have goatees.
Yes.
You know?
The negative zone.
Yeah. It's the negative zone.
Right.
Like, this is clear. This has all been written about in, like, the best journals.
Yeah.
And by journals...
Richards wrote about it.
Yeah. The Illuminati, when
Bruce
they get
Wayne
together.
wrote about it.
Bruce Wayne didn't write about it, but he carbon dated something, and he went, wait, something's not right.
Yeah, I got to get this to Hal Jordan immediately. Yeah, so this might be a reason as to why we're not seeing antimatter. If things aren't in balance, if there is no symmetry in the universe, maybe there's just less antimatter than matter. Does it matter?
Huh. So here's my thing. And I could be 100% wrong because I'm not a fucking particle physicist. I'm barely a grown man. I barely showered this week.
Yeah.
But I was always under the impression that antimatter was we sort of took it to exist, but we haven't really seen it.
Right. Well, we know it exists because it has to based on the equations. But what if the equations are wrong?
Well, that's the thing, right? So that's the thing, right? Is like, okay, well, if there's all this balance, then we can take it to mean that there should be antimatter, right? And so we know it's out there. We just got to figure out how to see it or whatever, or why we're not seeing it, or blah 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 blah. Or maybe it just ain't real. Maybe it's like ether. Remember ether? Oh God, we were so big on ether.
Yeah, we thought ether was so sweet.
Ether was the hotness
That's
of the
where
19th
stuff
century. What's it made of? Ether, motherfucker.
Sometimes I put stuff there. I'll just put it right out in the ether.
Put it right out in the ether. What does it do? It just floats there.
Yeah.
I've never seen it float there,
Well, of
but
course,
the ether
it's in
has
the
to
ether.
exist.
Yeah.
Has to exist. That's what this is all filled with.
Right.
What is it, just air? Fuck
No.
you. It's ether.
There's a lot of room between all those air particles. What's in that room?
And then heavier things fall faster because they displace the ether more. And this is all science. This is all established science, and we all know that it's true. This is, and this is kind of the thing when I think of particle physics or quantum physics or string theory or all this stuff. I mean, it's all kind of like this out on the edge searching for answers. Here are the most likely answers sort of thing.
Yeah.
And as we repeat them over and over again, and Michio Kaku makes more and more TV specials about them, we just sort of go, oh yeah, that's the thing that's real.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it the thing that's real?
Until it's not.
Yeah. And I don't know how
not.
much this proves or disproves antimatter or whatever, but
Right.
I can. It's always kind of interesting to see like how much we take as human beings on, and this is one of the problems with peer review right now, right? In the scientific community is like there's so many things that we take as true,
right?
And they've been true for so long that when they're not true anymore, we're just kind of like, but it is.
Yeah.
you have to do a lot of work to unprove that. And, the guy who wrote the paper is like, but we never actually proved it.
Yeah.
Can we all take a step back?
Well, that's the other problem, too, is that everything is filtered through pop science now, and all of the articles about this discovery.
I'd like to apologize for my part in that.
Yeah, I know. We're definitely complicit in that. But every single article about this that I searched for, because after I read this, I was like, I got to find out more about this. Every single one, whether it's the BBC, whether it's Science Alert, it doesn't matter how legit the website is.
Whether it's that one Facebook account with the GIFs that I love.
Oh, that guy.
Science GIFs.
On top of it.
Hot science
They're
GIFs.
animated even. All symmetrical, oddly. They all had the same headline, which is, "This could ruin time travel." Now, the idea behind that is that since it's pear-shaped...
For who?
Right, exactly.
For who is it gonna... Oh, man, we gotta stop all the time travel we've been doing.
I know.
I have been going back in time and stepping on all the butterflies I can.
Yeah, and now this guy found a pear-shaped
And now the
nuclei.
fucking science police say that I can't do it anymore. Well, sorry. You know what, though? In all honesty, I was really tired of every butterfly I step on leading to just like a world where the Nazis are in power.
Yeah.
Like literally no matter what you do, you go back in time, you step on this butterfly, you step on that butterfly, you kill that dinosaur.
Always Nazis.
Always Nazis.
You know what it is?
Maybe they're lizards. Maybe they're robots.
They're lizard Nazis, but they're still Nazis.
They're still Nazis, though. Like, it's a lizard Hitler.
What we don't realize is the Nazis had a purely butterfly-based economy, and we didn't understand that when they rose to power.
It's actually beautiful. I mean, that's the thing, is like... There's a lot of complexity, even to the villains. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're conflicted because a butterfly is so beautiful, and it leads to so much evil.
Yeah, but, there's really something to the fact that I guess Hitler is the fulcrum of all history. No matter what happens, Hitler is that turning point, right?
Yeah.
Like, no matter what story it is, no matter what's going on, no matter when it's written, doesn't matter if it was written in 1955 or today or 100 years from now, you step on the wrong thing when you go back in time, and you're gonna make a Hitler.
That's Godwin's law of time travel.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Everything has a Hitler-shaped nucleus.
That's the thing. He's
literally at the center of everything. He was pear-shaped.
So if you look really close at the pear-shaped nucleus, it's pear-shaped, but at the very top, it also has a little mustache.
Just a little teeny mustache, which I mean, technically is the Charlie Chaplin mustache, but it's been ruined.
Poor Charlie
It's been
Chaplin.
ruined.
No, so here's the idea behind
who is this ruining time travel for?
The idea behind this is that the if you imagine what a pear looks like, the smaller end, which is kind of pointing, they've determined that end in the nucleus of these isotopes is always pointing at a specific point in space-time. So they're saying if it always points that direction, then time only flows in one direction, ergo, ipso facto, QED, time travel is impossible because time only flows in one direction.
Now, I know you're just boiling that down for me because I'm a layman. I know you're boiling it down for all the concerned citizens out there. But when you boil it down like that, doesn't it sound too simplistic to be true?
Yes.
They're basically saying that these pear-shaped nuclei are the little arrow on the GPS of time. On the Google Maps of time.
It's pointing the one direction, and therefore we can only go that direction.
That's the way you got to go.
Yeah.
If you go the other way, it's got to recalculate, and then you wind up with a Hitler.
Real quick question. Can we just change the way the arrow is pointing?
See, now this is what TV writers are going to do. This is why you can't write a headline like this. Or maybe you can, because it makes for some really good fucking TV.
Yeah.
But people like me are going to read this, and they're going to go, oh, no, but like... If you found a way to flip all the directions and all the nuclei in a specific area, that area would go back in time.
All I need is some isotopes, a shit ton of isotopes. Then you have the scene where we break into the lab and steal all the isotopes, and they're all so confused. Why would they want all these isotopes? They have no street value.
Yeah,
isotopes of radium-144. They have no street value. And then
they think we're gonna make a weapon. That's what they think.
Right.
They're going to make some sort of a weapon. We're not going to make a weapon, you idiots.
But there's one Jeff Goldblum scientist who understands what they're actually up to.
Because he lost the one he loved.
He did.
And that's why he started researching all this. He goes, I know what they're going to do, but it's impossible.
It seems impossible until you look closely at the isotope's nucleus. Let's get to the heart of the problem, the center of the issue, where it's all pairs as far as the eye can see.
Pairs all the way down.
Yeah. And then they realize all they have to do is change the pair's direction, boom, bing, boom. They show up. Hitler's standing there with our thieves.
It's always Hitler.
Surrounded by isotopes.
Always
They're
Hitler.
all high-fiving, but Jeff Goldblum's there with his team of elite commandos.
And he's got to decide, right? Because this pocket of space-time, right? Hitler's back, but so is the love of his life.
Yes.
She's back, but by reversing it, he'll reverse the pocket of space-time that allowed a Hitler, which is probably like a lizard or a robot Hitler. We haven't really
it's
decided.
definitely a lizard
one of those
robot
two.
Hitler.
Depends on whether it's like Sci-Fi or BBC America or like what network it's on, you know?
Well, I think it's a lizard with like robot arms.
Yeah, definitely BBC America.
Yeah, but still a little mustache.
Definitely BBC America. So, but if he reverses it,
Yes,
he loses her again.
definitely. But so it's
Even though
conundrum.
logically you could just be like, well, couldn't she just step out of that pocket of space-time?
No,
You
that's
just trap Hitler in the space-time universe and he could.
no,
That's not the way it works.
She can't do that.
Because on BBC America, the way it works is the person you love has to be trapped.
Yes.
And you got to lose them. But there's got to be a really heartfelt, teary monologue first,
Yeah,
and then it all reverses.
and then bang, a flash of white light, and Jeff Goldblum is just standing in a supermarket, and he looks down at this fruit aisle, and he reaches slowly, and he picks up the apple. And he picks up the apple. He made his choice.
He made his
He
choice.
made his choice.
The only question I have about all this is how'd the BBC afford Jeff Goldblum? That seems like, wow, good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Really good on them.
Maybe it's a mini-series event or something.
Yeah.
But this is a leap to take, right? This is a huge leap to take because this is something, this is probably based on some offhanded comment or a really general theory or a big like, we think maybe that some guy on the team said, and now everybody's making fun of him because he's like, you're the guy that fucked us.
Right.
Or if
Way
it
to
was
bring time travel into this.
or if it was a PR person,
Yeah.
everybody's high-fiving that PR person, except for the scientists who are grumbling in the corner because they're like, fucking PR.
Yeah,
and and somebody's like, well, Steve, this is how we get our money. This is how we get our money.
That's
to
the only way
fund
that
our
happens.
research.
Yeah.
Like, if they want to talk
Amen.
time travel, as long as we get the checks,
Yeah.
we can keep doing our
No
research.
one would have read this article if we hadn't put time travel in the headline.
But yeah, it's like
That's the bummer to me.
We don't even know why these things are the way they are yet, and we're deciding what they do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't even know what it is, why it's happened, what's going on. We just found out that it's possible,
Yeah.
and we've already decided what they do. That's the fucking time travel arrow.
That's the time
That's
travel
the
arrow.
Marty
It's gotta
McFly
be.
arrow.
And let alone the fact that proof that time travel doesn't exist is already here because no one has come back to do any shit.
That you know of.
Oh. Maybe it's secret?
Well, not only that, but if they come back and they do it, it changes everything. You know that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know that whole thing.
That's true.
But at the same time, Kyle Reese.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
Enough said.
You know what I
Kyle
mean?
Reese.
Kyle Reese. Like, what do you do? Like, is it a Terminator kind of time travel? Is it a Doctor Who kind of time travel? There are a lot of different kinds of time travel, Jeff.
There is. There are.
One of them could be possible.
That's
but
true.
probably not.
Probably not because of the fucking pears, dude.
Probably because of these pears, though. The arrows of the pears are pointing in a specific direction, and now we're fucked.
So this is huge news.
What if I make a giant pear-shaped ship?
Oh, a pear ship.
Kind of like...
Pointing wherever you want it to go.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's real good, right?
Yeah, I like
Maybe
that.
I put a magnet in the front, and that way the point is whenever I turn it, it's it is a nucleus magnet. Why can't we have nucleus magnets if we can have time travel arrows? We're all making up science today.
Yeah, I want a nucleus.
I'm gonna make a nucleus magnet. I'm gonna repoint everything.
Just suck all the nuclei toward you.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suck all the nuclei toward me.
Yeah.
Go back in time to when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And I had my first cup of coffee and knock it out of my dumb hands because everybody in my family is. Like all the dudes in my family are 2.5 to 3 inches taller than me.
Oh.
But I started
You think
drinking
it was the coffee.
6 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
And 2 cans of Surge and a mostly sugar-based diet starting from the time you're 12.
Yeah.
That's going to do it.
You know what? If you look really closely on that cup of coffee,
Yeah.
has a tiny mustache.
Tiny mustache. Hitler coffee.
Hitler coffee.
Ruining it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. How does it make sense? I don't know.
I don't know.
But wait, maybe now
Think about it.
we're science bloggers now.
That's right.
That's what we are.
Yeah. I want to find out where this leads us. It's obviously early days, but they first, discovered this in 2013. They just confirmed it this year recently. So it's really new.
Yeah.
And what it means is, well, let's just wildly speculate.
Well, I mean, we're getting closer. We know that our model of the universe doesn't work. That's what we know.
Right.
That's why there's so many people trying to find, like, so many people working on string theory, unified theory, like all these things. There are people that are like, look, there's a fundamental set of rules for this whole thing. This has physical properties, and we need to know what they are.
Right.
But as we're reaching and as we're finding things that fall outside of our pattern, we come up with these theories that are like crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we come up with these theories that are like this sort of pop science or you know, Science Channel 9 p.m. on a Sunday Michio Kaku stuff where it's like there's an atom on one side of the galaxy and an atom on the other side of the galaxy and they're inextricably linked. You know what I mean? And like that's cool and maybe it's true, but maybe it's not.
Yeah.
You know, and these are things that come out of like we need theories that explain how the universe works, and some of this stuff falls outside of our theory. It's like all of the backflips that we did for an Earth-centric universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had to do all these backflips to figure out why these things weren't doing exact patterns, to find out why the stars weren't moving in a way that made sense, why things were so complicated, right? And this is kind of like the 21st century version of that.
And that's the most exciting part of science is when something comes into the picture that challenges everything we know and that forces you to rectify your assumptions and create a new model.
This is a big deal, not because it's going to destroy time travel, not because it's throwing all of physics out the window. It's not throwing all of physics out the window. It's throwing it's throwing the higher end particle physics, quantum physics, the really theoretical stuff.
It's asking for a rework on things that we've taken for granted. And I think that's so cool and so interesting.
This is the kind of thing that makes scientists go, yes! Like researchers and academics go, cool, now we can scrap all this junk, which was obviously too complicated, and start again and be like, okay, what does this mean?
Yeah.
But also it means no time travel. That's number one. That's okay.
That's all right.
We should not have that.
I don't think we would do well with it.
I think we would do horribly. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you a time traveler? If you're a time traveler,
you have to tell us.
You have to tell us, otherwise it's entrapment. It's time entrapment. It's quantum entanglement if you don't tell us. What do you guys think about this? And you know, what do you guys think about the way it's being reported?
Yeah.
We would love to hear.
Is it the kind of thing that makes you read the article and then you actually learn something? Is it the spoonful of sugar that makes the medicine go down, or is it misleading?
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, you see the headline, you click, you read the first paragraph, and you go, "Oh, you jerks!"
Yeah.
But let us know. You can hashtag those coffee Hitler and send them to us on Twitter. I'm at acarboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you know, guys, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
The thing is this: we need you to review the show.
Yeah, 5 stars actually is preferable. And
just need you iTunes, Stitcher. Where are you listening to this thing? Your friend's house? Go to your friend and draw 5 stars on his forehead. We just need 5 stars.
That would be helpful.
Wherever you are, because that helps us move to the top of the specific categories we're in. It helps us find new concerned citizens. It helps us find a new community for the show.
I love the idea of somebody going to their friend's house to listen to our show.
Yeah.
Like they're making
listening
an event.
parties.
It's a day.
Wow. Yeah, and have a listening party, why don't you? Let's bring those back.
That'd be fun.
But they're going to ask you to write a review for the show.
You don't need to do that. Nobody reads those.
No, just write like a quick 3-paragraph time travel fiction.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to be something about Hitler, so please do that.